On March 14, 1996, Ian LePerriere was evicted from his place of residence, never to return. Not knowing exactly who he should live with, Ian decided childhood friend Eric Belanger would be a lovely fit. Can two wild and crazy French Canadians with hot tempers and vastly different personalities live together without driving each other insane? Can a stern veteran live with a free-spirited, freaky bleach blonde? And why can't anybody live with a flaky backup goalie? It's now time for the Ice Couples.
Well, my roommate on the road is Eric Belanger usually, but now he's injured. At night, like, he loves to talk in his sleep. Like, he's the loudest. Like, it's very clear. Like, you can hear him talking about the game before, or, you know, talking like his wife was beside him. You know, it's very, very clear. It's funny. And also, he's got that bad habit. He's got those two fake teeth. He's taking those away at night, but he goes like that sound all night, and you're like, when I go to bed before him, it's fine because I fall asleep and I don't hear anything, but when I get problems to sleep at night, I just can't go to sleep because he's right beside me and go like this. It's funny, and sometimes it's, I don't know, it's just, I don't want to wake him up either. He's sleeping so well, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm putting a pillow in my hair. And
my roommate on the road is Brian Slominski. Smo, if I had to say anything bad about him, is that he snores at night. He brings the covers right up, he lies on his back, and he's got this thing about him, he goes all night, and it sounds like he's tooting all night, but I give him a few whacks to the head, and then he's good for about an hour.
You know, the only thing that he does that really is questionable is he sleeps naked. And as soon as he gets in the room, he's naked. And if he could run around the streets naked, I think he'd do it. You know, he's got no hair on his body. You know, he's 35 years old and he's got no hair in his body. And I'm 30 years old and I'm hairy. So it's weird. And everything that he eats goes through him. I mean, he's in the bathroom 24/7. And it's loud.
I might get up a little earlier than him in the morning, and I don't think he likes it. I get to turn the lights off around 11 every night before we go to the night before the game. But we get along pretty good, and we eat at the same time every night.
When we get into a city, we're probably eating by 5:36 because he wants to be back in bed by 8:30. Lights out. Lights out 8:30. We gotta watch a movie. You know, lights out 8:30. By the time it's 11 o'clock, you got a massive headache. You've watched TV. You know, you've watched 4 hours of TV and you can't fall asleep. So what's the problem there?
My roommate on the road is Adam Deadmarsh, and really we usually just like to stay in, and we usually watch his shows. He likes you know, Murder, She Wrote and Matlock are two of his favorites.
I usually have the remote, but I don't want to throw it over to him too hard. Probably break something. He's pretty skinny and frail.
I'll get up and usually take a shower early, and then he never showers. He just kind of wets his hair down, and occasionally he'll maybe put some deodorant on and brush his teeth, but if he wets his hair and combs it, it's a good day for him.
And he's a bit of a strange roommate. He spends a lot of time in the bathroom trying to comb his hair over to cover up all his bald spots. And, so that's the most frustrating part. I can never get in the bathroom. He's always doing that.
We usually order a meal before we go to bed, too. I'll usually order a salad or something, and we get you know, 2 or 3 banana splits.
He actually eats like a pig, but he just doesn't gain any weight. So, you know, once in a while he gets caught in a crevice in the bed, and I gotta pull him out of there. But yeah, he's just real scrawny.
I always get the clicker. He has to close the shades, turn off the lights, and make wake-up calls. It's kind of a pretty good prison setup, and I'm in charge.
My roommate on the road is Greg Johnson. And just one thing what freaks me out, when we started out first together, I just sleep, and middle of the night I heard a funny noise, and I go like, what the hell is that? So I'm looking around, and then I see him sleeping, and he's grinding the teeth, and I never heard anything like that. It really freaks me out. It was really weird, and I'm slowly getting used to it, but you just gotta throw something at him and just keep him honest.
First of all, when it's time for, as he says, Betty Bye time, I think I'm like 3 years old or something, but he puts on his flannel pajamas. You know, they have like little polar bears or little stars on them. So he puts those on, and you know, he's got his little nightcap too that he puts on. He gets into bed then, And he's like a light switch. All of a sudden he's awake and he'll be talking, and all of a sudden he goes, okay, I'm going to bed. And boom, he flicks a switch and all of a sudden he's dead asleep. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen from a man.
CJ and the grinding teeth, yeah, I heard that's a problem. He's got to wear a mouth guard to bed. But, you know, that's just one of the reasons I wouldn't want to room with CJ.
I wouldn't want to room with Storzy. All they do is play video games. They're video freaks. And we walk in, you can hear them laughing in the afternoons, you know, when we have an off day. They're going crazy over, you know, basketball or soccer, and they're nerds.
Jamie Storr, definitely. He's just a different bird. I don't know if I could sleep well. I have to sleep with one eye open.
Jamie Storr, because he's basically pretty annoying.
I got my own room on the road, and I used to have roommates, but I think I ruined a lot of guys along the way, so they said goalies are different, so they have to have their own room. A couple guys that you just can't stay in the room, and I'd never want to be roommates with. I mean, Deadmarsh, every time I check out, my bill's close to $500 because of everything he eats. Craig Johnson, I mean, he just never showers. You know, it's unbelievable. Like, he comes in the room, he looks like Pigpen. Yeah, Aaron Miller's one of the guys that, you know, he's so skinny and you never know where he is in the room. Guys find a lamppost sometimes. He's there for a couple hours, I never see him.
I'd probably like to room with myself because I don't really get along with the guys too much.
What, Bill?
It's entertaining. What do you want me to say?
I have my own room on the road.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
You and Bob aren't like...
No, it's in our contract, so you know how that goes.
How about the strangest roommate you ever had during all your days with the Kings?
I'll tell you about the best roommate I ever had.
Best? Oh,
Joey Patterson. Remember Big Joe Patterson, the tough guy enforcer? You come into the room, the bed would be turned down. You'd have a glass of water beside your bed. You want the light turned off, he'd get up, turn it. Unbelievable. Take care of you all the way. Joey P.
Hope you enjoyed that. We'll have more later.